Good afternoon, good evening, fellow Ambazonians, fellow televiewers, for those who are watching me on the Ambazonian Communication Network and those who are watching me on my platform, Capo Daniel, at YouTube. You're all welcome. And thank you for letting me to come into your house, at home and abroad, to speak today to you about the joint statement put out by the Ambazonian leadership on a commitment for negotiated settlement, a comprehensive negotiated settlement between the state of Cameroon and Ambazonia. The statement have been made, and I'm going to put that to you shortly. My name is Capo Daniel. I am the Deputy Defense Chief and the Anti-Kidnapping Czar. I am also the spokesman, the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council. You are all welcome to this special presentation of this communique. The Ambazonian Governing Council President Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba will be addressing our nation shortly. But first, we are going to go through this presentation. I'm going to put it to you very soon, but let's pay some respect to our people by playing our national anthem. Welcome back once again to this presentation. The reason why I want the images of these children behind me is because this is for their future. Our movement is a grassroots movement that represents the people of Ambazonia, the people of Amba Bay, from Mount Fako right up to Lake Nyos, to Lake Wum, to Lake Awing. These are the people that we speak for, the voice of the voiceless, the millions of our citizens who are prohibited from speaking their language, prohibited from practicing their inheritance as a state, and even more damning, are people whose own nationality, whose own identity have been criminalized. But that is a subject of another day. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I come today to you as the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council to present to you a joint statement by Ambazonia, the team of Ambazonia that have been engaged in pre-talks with the in Canada with the Cameroon state. And this is a very historic moment. This is a very huge development and a great first step to restore the dignity of the Ambazonian people. The Ambazonian Governing Council is a very transparent organization, and we will update our people and bring to you all the latest information and the details about this engagement that is being taking place on your behalf and for our country's interest. So you are all welcome to this special broadcast. I'm going to read out the statement, the joint statement as it is. I'm going to read it in Pidgin Standard English and focus on Pidgin for all of our people to understand what is going on their behalf. Our people's life have been put on hold. During this chaos of war, the brunt of the suffering have been bared by our civilian population. our military wings, and our self-defenders, our defenders of our country, have also carried the burden of this nation. Our people who are in the diaspora have had sleepless nights over the horrific images that are coming from our country, Ambazonia. And today, we have good news for everybody. Lovers of peace, both in Ambazonia and in Cameroon, and in the international community. I'm going to read the joint statement. This is a joint statement that is signed by 4 Ambazonian leaders. Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba signing for the Ambazonian Governing Council, Mr. Dabney Yerima signing for the interim government, Dr. Ebenezer Kwanga signing for the Ambazonian People's Liberation Army, Liberation Movement, and you have Dr. Emmanuel Taylor signing in for ACT. ACT is the group of Ambazonian faction as well, several of them. The communique read as follows. On the initiation of talks towards a negotiated settlement. That means say the heading for this document, it talks say concerning this thing with the one gather for talk about for solve this problem through talking. In the past 4 months, delegates of the Republic of Cameroon and the former United Nations Trust Territory of the British Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, have been holding pre-talks as first steps towards a comprehensively addressing the root causes of the Ambazonian Liberation War. That means say for the past 4 months, delegates from Cameroon and delegates from the former United Nations Trust Territory of the British Southern Cameroon, that means say Ambazonia, they began the meet up for Canada for talk about how they go fit bring comprehensive, that means a wholesome, total solution for all the problem them will be involved for this our war of liberation. In the presence of the United Nations as observers, both parties have signed a joint declaration of commitment. That means say in the presence for United Nations they be send some person me she done for they begin look am. For that person in front, both the Cameroon side and the Ambazonian side, they don't sign for declare, say the one for solve the problem through negotiation. Committing to a negotiated process from which a comprehensive negotiated settlement shall emanate, and mandated Canada as facilitator of this process. That means say as they ran down for that meeting, they ran sign, say all we would commit, we would say we go sit down for this table and we will make solution for the problem the world face them only for that table. And we would put Canada me they like shorty. Now Canada it will be like a shorty for make sure say me the process it happen. So they don't choose Canada now it will be shorty. We take the opportunity to thank the delegates for their steadfastness and dedication to these talks. So they want to thank all the people the way they be sent them for day, where them go for day, go get this meeting for make sure say me these talks it comes to take and reach for the point we will then get this agreement. He continue. Ambazonia will engage in this process cautiously, given the history of the Cameroon government stance since 1961 towards the former United Nations Trust Territory of the British Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. That means say we're going to enter for this talk, we're going to be very careful because of the way Cameroon Iran became behave since for those days from 1961 towards our country, where they be call them that time now say now the United Nations Trust Territory country. It is in this light that we express our deep concern about the references in a statement made by the government of Canada that undermines the spirit and letter of the signed commitment between both parties. That means say now why that way we'll be very careful, and we also would talk about the thing way Canada it don't do it go call our name, we being a different one from the one who signed the document for this meeting for talk will happen for Canada. Now why do we make that complaint? As a people, we will define our name and expect the international community to respect our unique identity and references. That means say we, as one people for Southern Cameroon, now we go choose the name where people they go to call we and where they go to refer for we, and we call say me the international community, me them respect this one for we. As representative of Ambazonia, we remain committed to engage with Canada as facilitator and explore ways for a multinational facilitation process. That means we will continue for work with Canada and also for look some way plenty other countries dem fit join for this peace process wey we don agree for enter for day. E continue. Apart from the formal commitment, as a humanitarian measure of good faith, the parties agreed to discuss confidence building measures to build trust. That means say as we don sign this document so we wan enter for the talk, we go also try for look something dem wey we fit do am for win each other their confidence. That means say La Republic for win our confidence, thing wey we fit do am to make we win their own confidence. And both sides have set up technical committees to lay out the modalities and clarify technical matters about the implementation and monitoring of confidence building measures. That means say both sides, La Republic and Ambazonia, will then create committee them where they go sit down for make sure say they clarify the things the way we go do them for build trust for each other, while committing to making sure the process is inclusive of all Ambazonian voices. We ask Ambazonians people to remain committed and support this process. That means say they go try for make them the process involve all voices them wey dem dey for inside Ambazonia, make them join for inside this process. We take the opportunity to ask all other groups in Ambazonia to work together to support and strengthen this process. That means say all group them wey they never join the talk, we dey ask them say me them join this talk, me them make am make this talk it turn out me strong fine. We also want to assure our people that the interest of Ambazonia is at the core of our engagement in this process. So we want for remember Ambazonia people, me them know say we carry na the thing way Ambazonia people dem want them, na their own interest we will carry them for the heart for inside this process. To our prisoners and detainees, faith. To our fighters, courage and bravery. So for people them wey dem dey for prison where they don't catch and lock them for prison by La Republic, make una get faith. For our fighter them, make una get courage and make una be brave. To our refugees and internally displaced people, we stand with you. For our people them wey na IDP them, where they don't run the stay for bush, we dey together with una. To our people, resilient, we shall overcome. God bless Ambazonia. For all our people them, make una turn up strong. May God bless Ambazonia. This document it be signed yesterday evening on the 21st of January 2023 by the organization the way they represent Ambazonia. Number one way they for the AGOFC and ADF. The president signed by Dr. Ayaba. You get the APLM and SOCADEF signed by Ebenezer Kwanga, and then you get the Yerima Dabney signing for the IG, and then you get Dr. Emmanuel Taylor signing for ACT, the coalition for negotiation and dialogue. So ladies and gentlemen, that was a joint statement signed by all the Ambazonian leaders that have formed the core block of the Ambazonian groups that have engaged for the past 4 months, sending delegates into Canada with one mission. The mission at the core of the delegates who went to Canada is for the aspiration of our people for a complete decolonization of our territory and for independence. The government of Cameroon have also sent their own delegates. And finally, after 4 months, with the help of the Canadian government, with the presence of the United Nations and other international observers, they have finally come out with a document and a commitment to negotiate and solve this problem through a negotiated settlement. And these are my reaction I have to give. We have to give this reaction to our people. And tonight, we are going to have the President of the Governing Council, Dr. Ayaba, is going to address our nation to give our people more perspective and more details. This is our reaction from the Governing Council, which I want to put out to our people and to the world. First of all, we want to tell the world and to tell all of our people, the people of Ambazonia, and also to tell the people of Cameroon, that for the first time in our history, for the first time, this generation of Ambazonians have accomplished what even the Umnyobe and Enes Nwanyi did not accomplish. That for the succeeding regime of Cameroon, that of Mr. Paul Biya, from the regime of Amadou Ahidjo, no indigenous African group representing the people of that land have succeeded to have a face-to-face meeting with them in their own terms. It's a very historic moment. It's a very huge moment that the people of Ambazonia have finally sat down on the same table as two equal partners out of that country with the international presence, both the United Nations and Canada, and have a frank conversation. That is the first time. And I want to say congratulations to President Paul Biya. I want to say congratulations to the Prime Minister of Cameroon for this bold step. It takes recklessness to declare a war, and it takes courage to pursue peace. For the faction in Cameroon that seeks peace, peaceful resolution of this war of Ambazonian liberation, be courageous, stand firm, abandon the path of war. We are all blacks. We are all Africans. There is no need for this war. For we, the Ambazonian people, it has taken us courage to overcome our fears, to overcome our suspiciousness against the Cameroon regime. Rightfully so. Negotiation is the pathway for the resolution of this crisis, which is political. For our people in Ground Zero, what this will mean is that we have hope for the return of justice and peace, and a society where we can live with our dignity, where people who hold the Ambazonian nationalism at heart will no longer live in the forest hiding away from the state of Cameroon and its agents. There is hope for peace, a real hope. This is just an agreement to commit for a negotiation process. There will be confidence building measures. These confidence building measures will not rule back our areas of our control, and any attempt to change the status quo on the ground will be met by force from our side. We will expect to hear more details from the leader of our War of Liberation, Dr. Lucas Ayaba, and the other Ambazonian leaders who will be speaking and addressing our people directly. And we want to congratulate all of us, including myself, who was delegated and sent there to Canada for the interest of Ambazonia to engage in these pre-talks that have resulted to this historic moment. For the first time, Cameroon came. For the first time, they have committed to engage in a negotiated process for an outcome that will be comprehensive. It was not the group of all Ambazonian, the representative of all Ambazonian groups that went there. And this is very normal, that in the initial stages of negotiation, only the big groups, the most consequential groups are involved. Our leaders, as stated in this document and this press release, have taken measures that will be ruled out subsequently for every Ambazonian to know, so that all voices will be included and all stakeholders will be included, and everybody will have their say on the table. We shall negotiate as a people, not as organizations. And in Canada, we did negotiated as a people, not as various organizations. We were led, we were sent there by our organizations. We represent the interests of our people as delegates mandated by our organizations, but the core in our heart was the interest of our people, which we did indeed defend vigorously. The stories will be coming up soon, and hopefully they will be declassified for our population to understand. People with questions after the speech of the president, there will be enough panel show to receive questions of our general public, and our soldiers should remain strong. This is not the end of the war. This is just the beginning of a hope that the war can end. Be vigilant. The war is still on. We still face the Cameroon military on our streets. We still resist. And our people cannot still express their nationalism. Our people are still in prison, still in IDP camps. Over 30,000 have been killed. According to the American, over 800. According to the Canadians and the United Nations, over 800,000 people have been displaced. Our number put that to around 1.2 million. And even 2 million of our people are directly affected by this war. We'll continue to resist. It is a natural thing to do. Nobody, including the Ukrainian, will abandon their sovereignty and their territorial integrity to the hands of a foreign government or another country. We walk into this negotiation without precondition, and we are sure that the Cameroon government walk into this negotiation without precondition. And this spirit is reflected in this joint declaration that for the first time, the Cameroon and the Ambazonian states have joined together to put out a common statement. This is historic and this is huge. Congratulations to our leaders for their boldness, their courage, and the demonstration of unity. Like I said before, congratulate President Paul Biya and his Prime Minister Diongote for taking these courageous steps. Like we say, to declare war is recklessness, but it takes courage to make peace. And we hope that our people will have a relief from the hostilities as the confidence building measures will be ruled out and the negotiation process will kick on as soon as those information are made available. We'll let you know. Thank you very much. Ciao.